Greetings to all for the latest updates on hot global issues on the YouTube channel News Editor Desk. Here's a detailed content summary. Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi believes that Israel's actions have crossed red lines and may force people to take action. Washington has suggested, but we haven't seen them do anything, yet they continue to actively support Israel. The U.S. has sent a message to the resistance axis, but has received a clear and public response on the ground. The resistance axis is an unofficial alliance of forces opposing the West and Israel in the Middle East. Previously, President Raisi stated in an interview with Al Jazeera that Iran would disregard U.S. warnings about intervening in the Israel-Palestine conflict. President Raisi also referred to Israel's ground activities in Gaza as a failure and described it as the second victory for the Palestinian people. The AA campaign refers to the initial surprise attack by Hamas on Israel on October 7th. Additionally, the Israel-Hamas conflict has escalated as Israel stated it was gradually intensifying its ground operations and expanding its activities in Gaza. Tensions have also risen on the Israel-Lebanon and Israel-Syria borders. According to Reuters on October 30th, Israel's Defense Forces, IDF, said Israeli fighter jets attacked hundreds of Hamas targets, including command centers, guard stations, and missile launch stations, within the last 24 hours. Some Hamas fighters appeared from a tunnel near the Israel-Gaza border and were killed or injured in clashes with Israeli forces. IDF spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Hagar, revealed in a press conference on October 30th that Israeli forces were gradually increasing ground operations and expanding their activities in Gaza. He stated that they would do whatever it takes, using air, sea, and ground forces, to ensure the safety of their troops and achieve the goals of the conflict. Israel has also mobilized its combat tanks near the western part of Gaza, raising concerns that a ground incursion into Gaza may begin soon. Iran's foreign minister stated during a visit to New York for the UN General Assembly that they do not welcome the expansion of conflicts in the region. Still, if Israel continues its actions against the Palestinians in Gaza, the U.S. will not escape the consequences. He emphasized that it's their region, and Iran won't tolerate any interference. Iran expressed readiness to play a significant role in efforts to release Palestinian prisoners held by Israel, along with Qatar and Turkey. During his visit to Israel, U.S. President Joe Biden reassured that the U.S. stands firmly by its allies, but he also raised concerns about Israel's responsibility in the attack on a Gaza hospital on October 18th, which resulted in many casualties. He stated that they are not alone as long as the U.S. is steadfast. In recent developments, the Islamic resistance movement in Iraq, including armed Islamic groups, reported attacking U.S. military bases in Syria on October 29th, using 2 unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. The attacks were apparently targeting the Asadi base in Hasaka province, northern Syria. These groups did not provide specific information on casualties or damages. Prior to this, on October 24th, the Pentagon reported that U.S. and international coalition forces fighting against ISIS in Iraq and Syria had been attacked at least 13 times with UAVs and rockets. These attacks were believed to pose an increased threat to U.S. forces across the region. Hossein Amir Abdollahian, Iran's foreign minister, has also warned that the U.S. will face new fronts if it continues to support Israel, escalating the conflict in Gaza. He stressed that Tehran supports any political solution to the current humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Furthermore, Israel's defense minister, Benny Gantz, stated that the anti-Hamas campaign has entered a new phase, with Israeli ground forces intensifying their activities inside Gaza. Israel is determined to defeat Hamas and secure the release of Israeli captives held by Hamas. Israel has set clear objectives and is determined to fight and achieve victory. Israel also warned Gaza residents that the area is now a battlefield, as its aerial campaign against Hamas in Palestinian territories intensified. It had previously warned that it was targeting areas in northern Gaza where Hamas is believed to have main command centers and widespread underground facilities. Israel has also urged around 1 million civilians in Gaza to move to the southern part of the Gaza Strip. Many Gazans have done so, but hundreds of thousands are believed to remain. If the Israeli military achieves its goal of driving Hamas out of Gaza, who will control this land when the conflict ends? According to Michael Minchin at the Middle East Research Center, the Medan at Tel Aviv University, there is one clear thing: there won't be a straightforward solution. There are several scenarios, but they all come with challenges. The first scenario is that Israel will control Gaza. Israel had military control over Gaza until 2005 and could potentially regain it. However, such a move may trigger new military attacks. Additionally, it could disrupt the power balance in the region. Some in Israel suggest this option, but it may inflame the situation and harm Israel's relations with Western allies, including the United States. Taking this action would also impose financial responsibilities on Israel that could be beyond their capabilities. Another scenario is that the Palestinian government returns to Gaza and regains control. In this case, they could play a crucial role in Gaza's future. However, there is another factor to consider. If the Palestinian government enters Gaza after Israel's victory over Hamas, some may perceive it as a war profiteering move. A third scenario is the establishment of a mixed civilian government of Palestinians, consisting of different societal representatives, such as local leaders. This government might maintain close ties with the Palestinian Authority. Such a leadership model could receive support from Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and potentially the United States. The UAE, Egypt, and others oppose Hamas, which is considered a Palestinian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood. However, these Arab countries are focusing on unity with the Palestinians and the prevention of potential war crimes in Gaza. People in these Arab countries share a similar viewpoint. It is unclear whether other Arab countries, including those with diplomatic relations with Israel, are willing to invest political capital in such a plan. Experts believe that such a model may only be feasible in the medium term.